Welcome to the MATLAB presentation. This is Harish, and in this video we are going to discuss about various MATLAB commands and basics of MATLAB. First, coming to creating an array. Here we are creating an array of 10 elements. We use square brackets as the syntax, and if we run this we can see that an array of 10 elements is formed, and then we are going to add 3 to each of this element in the array A, and if we run this we can see that 3 is added to the each element. And then creating a 5 cross 5 matrix, we use the syntax semicolon to distinguish between the columns, and we can see that 5 cross 5 matrix is formed. And then coming to the transpose of matrix, we use the general transpose symbol for the transpose of the matrix, and then we are multiplying the two matrices. We can see that the M is formed, and for multiplying the corresponding elements in the matrix we use dot and then multiply for multiplying the corresponding elements. And then creating column vector. First we have extracted a row vector from the X matrix, and then we use the transpose. You can see that a column vector is formed, and then selecting the elements in mth row through the nth column of matrix X. We can see that the P matrix is formed. And now creating a submatrix from the X matrix, we use this syntax and we can see that a submatrix is formed. And now coming to the deleting a specific row or column of matrix, we use the null square bracket for deleting a specific column or a row. Here we have deleted the second column and the third row of matrix X. And now coming to plotting in MATLAB, here we are plotting the graph of a function 5 into exponential of 2 into x. Here we created a syntax like 0 colon 0.2 colon 10 of x equal of the x-axis. It means this 0.2 describes the spacing from the 0 to 10 units, and we are plotting this function by using the plot function plot of x comma y, and by giving the x label, y label and the titles. And coming to the subplot generally divides the figure space into two rows. In this it is dividing into 2 rows and 2 columns, and this one indicates the figure number, that means this function is shown as the first figure in the plot window. And then coming to the stem function generally here we have created two variables a and b and x and y, and we have saved these two variables in different file formats like abfile.mat, abfile.txt, abfile.xls, and here we use the ASCII to save the ASCII values of these two variables. And if we run this section we can see the ASCII values as this, and then we also saved the variables as s1.a, s1.b, s1.c, and saved it in a random.mat file. And then we used to this struct for viewing the output like this, like name, size, byte, class and these attributes. And then here we have appended another variable k into a specific file by using the append. Here we can see that k value is also added to this file. And coming to this read cell and write cell commands, here we have created an variable h, and if we run this section we can see that by the read cell we can see this a 1 cross 5 cell array is formed. And coming to this, here we have created .xls file, and if we run this section we can see that an XLS format is formed here, and this is a read audio files. Here we are reading an audio and the audio is played, and if you run this we can see the audio playing. And coming to the next part, here we are finding the roots of the quadratic equation of general equation ax square plus bx plus c. Here we are taking various inputs from the user, and then we are finding the roots x1 and x2. If we run this section, we can see that it's asking the user to give the value of a, and if we give the values of a, b and c, and if we want to find the roots, it can show the roots x1 and x2 as this. And then coming to plotting the function of this quadratic equation, x square plus 0.5 into x plus t over the range minus 5 comma 10, we have plotted y as the function, and here we have plotted from minus 5 to 10 range with 0.2 spacing by using the plot function, and we can see the plot of the quadratic equation. This is the plot of the quadratic equation. And now coming to various commands in MATLAB. Here there are various commands described. First, coming to replm command, it used to repeat the copies of array elements. Repmat command is used to repeat copies of arrays. I command is used to create identity matrix. 0 command is used to create a matrix with 0 of all elements. 1 is similar to 0 command. It creates a matrix with 1 as its all elements. Random command is used to create a randomly distributed numbers or a matrix. Reshape command is used to reshape the array. Catenation of arrays is done with cat function. We can also use horizontal cat and vertical cat. We can use diagonal function to create a diagonal matrix, and block diagonals to create block diagonal matrix. And flip LR and flip UD are used to flip a matrix up and down and left and right, and rotate 90 used to rotate the matrix with 90 degrees. TRIL is used to extract lower triangular matrix, and similarly TRIU is used to extract upper triangular matrix. And here permute function is used to permute array dimensions. Here we are creating a random array, and then we are permitting the array dimensions. And next, coming to circular shift, it shifts the matrix circularly, and using the length command, you can find the length of the array dimension and size. We can find the size of an array with size command, and with isempty we can find whether an array is empty or not. For NUMEL, we can with MUNEL we can find the number of elements in array, and NDIMS will give us the number of array dimensions. And if we run this, we can see that first we have created a repeated matrix, repeated array of elements, I command 0 matrices. We can see that is empty, as P1 is not empty, it's giving us 0. We can see the length of the array dimension, etc. And now coming to the different loop types in MATLAB. First, we are going to discuss about the while loop. In while loop, it repeatedly executes the statements until this given condition is true. Here we have given the condition as I is less than 1000, and then we are executing I is equals to I into 3, and then we are displaying I. And if we run this section, we can see that this is the output, and once it becomes more than 1000, this statements are not executed, it comes out of the loop. And now coming to the for loop. For loop also executes the statements a limited number of times. Here in this for loop, we have given I equal to 0, and then we have given the statement I plus j, and 50 is the limit for this loop. That means if I becomes greater. Now coming to different loop types in MATLAB. First, we are going to see about while loop. In while loop, it repeatedly executes the statements until the condition is true. Here we can see that if we run this section, after I becoming greater than 1000, this statement is not executed. Similarly, in for loop also, this loop needs to execute a specific number of times. Here we have iterated I with 0, and then we gave a statement as I plus j, and then we have given a condition like 50. That means I cannot go beyond 50. If we run this section, we can see that I is not going beyond 50, and the display is only executed and until I is less than 50. And here we are going to see an example for nested loop. Here in nested loop, the a loop is executed inside another loop, and if we run the session, we can see the output of the program as 1, 5 and 21. That is a loop inside a loop is run. And now coming to an example to show about the continue function. Here the continue is used to skip the iteration part, and if we run this example, we can see that after this x is less than 6, it continues and then skips the iteration. That means the fprintf part will not be executed once this continue statement is executed. It skips the iteration. It skips the iteration and continues with the next statements. And now coming to the break one. In this example, we use break. After using the break, the loop gets terminated. That means the executors within the loop or not, the statements within the loop are not executed. We can see that the values of x being printed only up to Now coming to the decision making statements in MATLAB, first we are going to see about the if and statement. In this, if the condition is true, then the statements within this if block are executed. If we run the session, we can see that only up to 140 the I is printed. And now coming to if else end statement, if the condition is true, then this statement is executed, or else this statement is executed if the condition is false, and then the block is ended. If you run this session, we can see the divisibility by 2 of numbers up to 50. And now coming to if else if statements, if the condition is true, then the statements within the if are executed. Else if the condition of this is false and this is true, then this is printed, or else the statement within the else is printed. And now coming to nested if statements, it is similar to nested loops. In here, if the condition is true, then it executes this statement, and then again if the other condition is true, then again this statement is executed and it is printed. It's a simple example. We can see that x3 is printed. Here coming to the switch statement. In switch statement, it go on executes the each and every case until one of the case is true. And here, if you run this, section, it's asking the user to enter the section. If I enter the section, it executes this case and prints you are in section CSE. And now coming to nested switch statement, it's a switch statement inside another switch statement, and if we run this session and give the inputs, it's executing this and it's displaying it's cool and it's a rainy day.